In today's gaming news, a Dead Space 3 playable demo is coming this January, the War Z creator apologizes for his hot mess of a game, The Walking Dead Episode 1 is free to play, and Diablo 3's Team Deathmatch PvP is going back to the drawing board. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It is Thursday, December the 27th, and my name is Force, here with today's gaming news. First up today, a playable demo of Dead Space 3 will be available this January. Players will have access to the game's co-op mode as Isaac Clarke and his partner Sergeant John Carver crash land on a hostile ice planet teeming with necromorphs. The playable demo will be coming to Xbox Live on January 15th and PlayStation Network on the 22nd. The full retail version of Dead Space 3 launches on February 5th in North America and February 8th in Europe for the 360, PS3, and PC. I'm interested to know that they've decided to add the co-op as part of this playable demo, as this is one of the more controversial issues with this game. Many fans of the Dead Space franchise weren't looking for a co-op experience, and the fact that they've added this, as well as more of an action focus, has a lot of people turned off to Dead Space 3. I suppose the good thing though is that having this demo before the official release of the game will let people try it out and see do they like the new direction with the co-op and with the action focus that Dead Space 3 will be providing. Next up in news, the creator of the War Z has issued a statement apologizing for his hot mess of a game. It's about time. Now that the dust has settled on the debacle that was the Steam launch and eventual removal of the War Z, the game's creator has issued an apology letter to all players. In the letter, War Z's executive producer admits fault in some of the missteps made by his company in launching the War Z as an unfinished product while not properly communicating that to potential buyers. This fairly lengthy letter touches on most of the major issues gamers and press have expressed with the War Z, but to many this may be too little too late. Unfortunately enough for Hammerpoint Interactive, I'm not sure that issuing this statement, as lengthy as it was and as many issues as it covered, is actually going to redeem them in the eyes of the gaming community. There were just way too many issues with the Steam launch of this game. You launch a game that's incomplete, you lie about that, and make people pay for it, and then expect people not to be upset? Well, it just didn't work out that way, and there's been a huge retaliation to the War Z and the game's creators as a result. So once again, I'm not sure if this letter will redeem them in the eyes of the gaming community, and I think they've got a long way to go when it comes to earning back the trust of gamers to actually take a second look at this title, if that will ever happen at all. Next up in news, the first episode of The Walking Dead is now available free to play on a few platforms. For those of you who still haven't played what many are considering 2012's Game of the Year, now is your chance to check it out for free. Episode number 1 of Telltale Games' The Walking Dead is now available free of charge on Xbox Live. If you prefer to experience this gripping story on the go, Episode 1 is also free on iOS. If you have yet to try this game out, go do it right now, because it may very well be one of the best games of 2012, and it is well worth your time and investment. Last up in news today, the Team Deathmatch variant in Diablo 3's expected PvP has been shelved as Blizzard looks to find something better. Earlier today in a blog post, it was revealed that Diablo 3's much-anticipated Team Deathmatch PvP is being shelved as Blizzard searches for a better alternative. The post points to lack of depth as a major reason for the PvP delay, explaining that the Team Deathmatch variant, while fun for some, gets old quickly for many. Other issues, such as class balance and gear discrepancies, are cited as reasons why the Team Deathmatch mode simply wasn't working. Blizzard will be going back to the drawing board in hopes of finding a new replacement for Team Deathmatch, but until then a dueling option will be added to the game sometime soon. I tell you man, it's really a crying shame. Diablo 3's Team Deathmatch PvP is one of the aspects of this game that I was the most looking forward to. And I know they talked about it being shallow and not providing much replayability, but all they'd have to do is add a reward system to the PvP to make that the case. Now, I believe that Blizzard will come out with a phenomenal version of PvP that will involve some PvE aspects and play more into the Diablo franchise, but you can't tell me that just killing other players wasn't interesting enough. That's all people did in Diablo 2. It was just killing other players over and over again. And certainly that PvP scene was quite large, but maybe it wasn't as large as we remember it being, or maybe not large in terms of Blizzard scale. Let me know what you guys think about the removal of Team Deathmatch PvP being shelved for potentially a better and new idea from Blizzard in the comment section below. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of the show. As always, thank you so much for watching. Once again, this has been Force, and you've just been force-fed. I'm sure they're going to come up with something amazing when it comes to PvP in Diablo 3. I guess the problem is that they're probably going to launch it about a year after the game's release, and pretty much everyone that I know has stopped playing. And by the time this comes out, we'll be rolling up to the next generation of consoles. I just don't see this working out that well. Or maybe that's part of their plan. They're going to launch PvP with the console versions on the next generation of Xbox and PlayStation. Very smart, Blizzard.